Welcome to the Axiom. New file detected. Launching file.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Leo, and today we are continuing the Disco Elysium file. Where we last left off, we explored a bit more of this area, and then we talked to the drunks and found out about the name Tequila Sunset. And then we talked to the kids, and we talked to this old washerwoman who knows more than that she's saying, but she gave us a place to stay for free inside her house. So today what we're going to do is we're going to, since we have about an hour left before people start going to bed, I think, we are going to spend the next hour talking to as many people as we can, and then we'll spend from 1800 to 2100 exploring like the church and stuff. But let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Whoever this is.
Hi, officer.
Lillian the net picker. So that's Lillian. Oh, Lillian's twin and Lillian's other twin. So this is their mom, the mom of the kids. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword and a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Factory balanced, Bakelite and stainless steel.
Oh. Okay. I did end up, someone said in the comments that the, pants don't do anything, the moralist pants, since I already have the thought, the Kingdom of Consciousness. So I switched out the pants for the ones that minus savoir-faire and up electrochemistry, because savoir-faire isn't needed for talking. And then I switched out my coat, which was esprit de corps and visual calculus, for the one that gives empathy and hand-eye coordination, the pinball man coat.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Illisible.
Illisible. Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. Interesting. So the village doesn't actually have a name. I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
That's fair.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Oh, this is the other person that we need the signature for? She has kids. Her kids might not have anywhere else to go. But yeah, sure. Nice sword. Point at the saber on her hip. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Hold on. Do you know how to use it?
Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot.
But not when you're in a tight spot.
That is true. When you're in a tight spot, a knife could definitely be better than a sword. It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
What would I do with it? Would I just sell it? I'm still thinking of like the super pry bar that is needed to open that cooler in the in that secret basement. But something tells me the sword is not going to be that. In fact, I would think the crowbar would work better than the sword. A sword, you'd want it to be more malleable, right? I guess it depends what type of sword it is. Like, it's a regular mass-produced sword, so I don't think it'd be any good. Can I borrow that sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Attempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
That's fair. So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Gone where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
That's bad. What happened?
Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. A bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what looks like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
I think I'm good.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Well, no. If the necktie is saying it, I really don't want to. What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her.
Okay.
This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once.
An entire mine?
Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Oh, not a... The mine as in a explosive. I was dumb. So I could get a mine. I could ask about the human bodies, which is probably her husband. Don't need the drugs. Let's ask about the mine. I'm very curious. A mine? The RCM could use a mine. Where is it?
Well, the RCM has to wait for another one because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up.
Oh.
The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing.
Motorix?
Spiky must have been a naval contact mine.
Yeah. Probably. It would have been... I was thinking it might have been a landmine. But, okay, so I take it that's your skiff? Point at the overturned boat.
Sure is. The sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Say nothing.
She looks at the boat dripping with slush and nods proudly.
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help?
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days. She might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard of those.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here. Nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Kim's presence makes it awkward. Don't know a good spot yet. Interesting. Be seeing you. Okay, so if we want to, we can hit on the widow, but I don't think I want to. The planks creak beneath your weight. I mean, to be fair, out of all the people, the ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. To be fair, she seems very nice. And if Harry, like, were to move on from whatever he went through, I would definitely consider hitting on her. But if it's just to, like, cope with his memory loss, I don't feel like Harry is ready for a relationship yet. So we're gonna leave that be. But hi, Joyce.
I'll just keep the Cordelechi in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around the post.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Intellect.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detective.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
All right. Highly convenient.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That, and she's also keeping an eye on you.
Okay. So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze toward the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Don't look.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Continue.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard, a sword The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Huh.
Fortunately for you, Madame, the RCM is on the scene.
Intellect.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Or let's not. I None of these seem like the correct reactions. But okay, I guess I'd go with this one. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. I mean, that's not entirely true, but it is another side of the same city, I guess.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the gray sky.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up. Her raincoat flaps in the gust. This fishing village?
No, they're in Sealindian, Isla.
No, you haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Say nothing.
It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day.
She corrects
For
this.
now.
Oh.
How can I assist you in this new location?
Remind me to tell you one day. Tell me now. We have time.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
How does she know that already?
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
All right. Show her your badge. I found my badge, by the way.
I love you did.
She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
She is memorizing your badge number.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious.
Fair enough.
What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
Hang on. Let's talk about the lynching.
Of course. Anything to help.
Oh, That's enough for
I am
now.
sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Interesting. So I can't tell her about... That's all for now. Huh. So I can't actually tell her about everything I found out. Weird. Okay. I guess in that case, let's go to the, Whoops. We have half an hour. Let's go to the father and son looking at the architecture, and then we can go to the cryptozoologists. If we have time.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Huh, is that... How does he know who Kim is?
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
Yeah, why?
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, and to shield himself from the pattering rain, all four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Feld Electrical. And Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on.
Okay.
What's R&D?
Isn't it... isn't it, something in development? Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for
Research and Development,
yeah. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. Hold on. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable and take-it-home solution, revolutionary. So they were trying to make a laptop? Or like, not necessarily a laptop, but like a portable computer using tape? Or like, maybe in this day and age, not everyone has computers in their home, so they're They were trying to build like the first home PC? I don't know. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
You can see it on the map, on the old version of what this town was going to be.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Intellect.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Motorix.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dompty Dom Center in Vredevoort. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Motorix.
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dom Center?
He did indeed.
He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? Paul Ackerman? Keith and Guy Juiced? What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Come on, there's no place called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center of Arts.
Actually, I think there is. No, it's too much. He's joking.
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredevoort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat. I gained a thought for that. Hang on. -1 suggestion, outsider. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins, Guy and Keith Joost, are the stars of the show, with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wompty Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you if you're not there? What?
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Oh, excuse me. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. I wanted to ask
But of
something
course.
else.
What else?
I don't want to ask him about money. Great, thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
And I got aces high.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the aces high is just a cool Revachol thing. Politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hotfixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
Huh. Bonuses? +1 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi, and +1 esprit de corps, the roots of the RCM. Oh, okay. Accept. And now I have... Oh, date of birth generator is still going. But now I have both of these. I almost have enough points. It'll be interesting if I spend all of my points investing in thoughts instead of investing in in actual things. But we still have a few minutes. Let's go ahead and talk to the cryptozoologists. At least I think these are the cryptozoologists.
Here we go.
Morel.
Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Hello.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary the crypto-fascist?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist?
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Intellect?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81.
I'm gonna withhold the whole story. The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it. Withhold the whole story.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Interesting. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for him.
Well, I know about this. It's because it's small. I know it's small. Or no, wait. It hides in the reeds. It can camouflage, and it's... Yeah. I don't think I need to ask any of this. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
This arouses no special feelings in
And
me.
it shouldn't. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Not gonna lie, I didn't know I was saying that out loud. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps?
Yes,
How do the traps work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Did a streetlight just come on?
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Is this going to tie into the case somehow? Like how insects have something to do with the case or something?
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
What will you do if these traps... Nah, I don't need to ask that. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps.
Continue.
My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He'll look south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She's sighted the Phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
I should.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Could we? What if we checked the traps? How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have you found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
So only 2 have proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
You know what? Let's encourage him, not approvingly. Then the Insulindian Phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed.
He does
If
not.
our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Thanks for explaining that. Now about something else.
Yes?
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Okay.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
So one by the boathouses, one by an old radio tower after the church.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them,
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
I
That
guess.
seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
I mean, I think we have time. Maybe. See, now my my want and need to do everything and see everything and do as many side quests as I can is conflicting with the knowledge that we are on a time limit to solve this case. But I guess. Well, let's do this. But Kim, maybe our suspect is hiding out in the reeds along with the traps?
I have a feeling the only people foolish enough to spend their time skulking among the reeds are these poor fools. And that's it. But fine. It's not like we are drowning in leads.
Alright, cool. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
Continue.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Please don't.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Made of musk and research chemicals. That doesn't sound safe at all. I don't think I want it, but do I want it? You know what? Sure, why not?
Wise choice.
He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, then gives you a satisfied nod.
It's
Motorix.
not so different from the putrefaction of the hanged man, actually.
Oh, that's not good.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready, let's get
Right.
to it.
Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Continue.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Continue.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If
Intellect.
it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too.
Alright.
But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
I'll get going, but I need to talk to Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
I don't like his voice.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Are you kidding me? Now I really don't like him.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Pretend you are a paragon of virtue. My crew. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
Oh. His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
He pronounces Revacol with a hard K, unlike other people.
You said Revacol.
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
Intellect.
The stupid way.
Ha!
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd.
So this guy is also racist?
It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Intellect?
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay. I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel.
Huh.
I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Nah, Gary, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again.
Who is this guy?
I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Oh, so you have unauthorized access to the trash containers. Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob.
Wow, you are very racist.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do explain.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
It was also messing with a crime scene.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
That was a massive sound. Oh. Hang on, series of clicks means they roll across a hardwood floor. That sound was very loud in my ears. What's that strange sound?
What sound?
Don't mess with me. I think you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Motorics?
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An
Motorics?
infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Let's move on for now. Actually,
What sound?
that clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really? There's lots of weird stuff out.
Okay.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Composure, thinking about the armor, clinking sound. Oh, interesting. Okay. Low 28%. You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Let's go ahead and thank you for your cooperation. Clothes. Do I have anything here that adds to composure? +1 composure. Perfect. Do my pants... Okay, no. -1 composure. Do I have anything that minuses composure on me? No, okay. So I think for now it's about as good as we're gonna get.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
So 42%.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in a yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramics shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Okay.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
Okay, so you thought it was okay to do this because you're racist.
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Do you know who killed the... Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
He shakes his head.
This is all he knows.
Give me that armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Continue.
But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Thank you for your Oh, he looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. Thank you for your cooperation. So what is this? +1 pain threshold, thicker skin. +1 volition, borrowed confidence. -1 empathy, mania of invulnerability. This vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat and also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. It does give +1 volition, which would help with Classier's check, but something tells me wearing this in front of Classier would not be a good idea. So inspect the traps. And then find Morel the cryptozoologist. Whoa, okay. Fine, I guess I'll scroll the manual way. So... Oh. We have 1 page of unfinished things now. So... Ask the little girl in the fishing village down the coast who knows something about the armored gloves. Okay. And then we have a point. Oh, we're very close to getting a second point, actually. So I could do Fairweather T500 or Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. But we are officially going to be ending the episode for today. Very interesting part. We talked to Lillian, and she had some info, and we also had the option to hit on her. And then we talked to the guy in front of the building who gave a lot of information. And then we talked to the cryptozoologists and found another piece of armor. And yeah, when we come back, we are going to, since it is almost 1900, we're going to explore more of the coast. And then we will go to, once it hits 2100, we'll go back to Martinez proper, and we will talk to the smoker on the balcony. But yeah, I'm thinking we can explore more up here maybe, and then go to the church and see what lies there. So look forward to that. So thank everybody so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be notified of when I upload the next part of the Files of the Archives, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, as well as leave a like or comment if you so desire. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.
Upload successful. Click here to view previous files. Have a pleasant day.